We're going to do some story time rushing. We're just chill rushing. I'm already streaming for like 7 hours. Made a bunch of videos already on other stuff. So yeah, we're just chill rushing and seeing how it goes, where we get, and doing some story time. Just interacting a bit with chat, but also had some story time in mind of just talking about like random stuff like outside of the game. Like, let me know in the comments of the YouTube video as well if you're liking these kind of videos or not that much. But I was thinking, I actually checked on my on my computer. I numbered all of my rush videos, and I'm currently at rush video 165, which is a lot. I'm also at siege video 135. So I've been doing a lot of those kind of videos, and at some point it's kind of hard to keep on of saying like, okay, what is something new that I can add to my offense, or what is something new that I can add to my defense, or try out something else, try out like a weird strat or anything like that. But to be honest, with my current units in the current balance patch, it's not gonna get any better than me going for Nephthys Leia or Nephthys Amber. Like, there's pretty much nothing better than that, unless I pull like a Talisman, or I pull like a Zarath, or I pull a Hanwoo, or any of those units. So that's kind of on the point where only straight up LDs would make things any different. Defense-wise, well, yeah, defense-wise I can test out defenses, but I cannot really showcase defenses on the siege or like the rush video too much, because then it would definitely not work for the next week. It's actually a fun fact that the moment I show a certain defense, because I actually made a few creative defenses throughout the year. So, for example, one of the defenses I came up with was, very far back I got my first or second legend with a Vanessa Triana, Sekhmet, and I don't even remember what the last unit was. But it was Vanessa Triana, Sekhmet something. And then that something was like a very stupid, simple unit as well. And just something like that over a lot of people using like speed leads and then AoE strippers and that kind of stuff. Just a Sekhmet to counter the Dianas, which were very common back then. You can get legend with. And that's the fun thing about defense in general. Defense, you have to be creative, but you actually not have to show that you're creative. And because, for example, Guts is trying a lot of, Guts the Berserker is trying a lot of defenses, but any defense he shows will be shit next week. Because people figure it out, people copy it, people test on it, and with that you have to rotate a lot more defenses, whereas someone that doesn't make content have to rotate defense. And do I say because of that I don't want to make content? No, I still prefer making content though over getting legend for sure. Like, I get that question pretty often. It's like, oh, you're going for legend this week? If I would actually be going for legend that week, I would be rushing and not streaming. Most likely. So, because it's just this beneficial to show what you're doing. In general, like with anything. Like, why do you think a pro player is not showing their scrim matches? Pretty much for the same reason. Why do you think Seiishizo doesn't want to make a video of him rushing? Exactly the same reason. Because it shows how you're hitting certain people. And for that reason, I still don't mind to do any of these kind of things. I actually enjoy like the rushing on stream a lot more than just randomly rushing. But for that reason, I cannot really go for Legend all too much. Also, Legend is a lot more involved with, I would say, the guild you're in and the defense you have. And it's actually a fun fact. I was discussing this earlier with Seiishizo as well. A lot of people say, especially in somewhat lower ranks, they say like, oh yeah, you only get G3 because of good defense. Like, I could totally get G3 if I had a team on lane. Which is actually a pretty false statement by a lot of people. Like, sure, defense helps a lot, 100%. But a lot of people miss the value that good offenses bring. Because the moment you lose one offense, you just lose a lot of time, a lot of points that you could have gained. Yeah, those are Chronicle coupons, so they don't work here. But yeah, for that reason, I would say that people have to focus more on the offense. I'm pretty sure Chris is paying someone to fucking boost him for the last 2 years straight. I'm pretty sure the man doesn't have that deep of wallet to do that. Plus the fact that, yeah, let's just say it. Why the fuck would you? But definitely no, not the case. Absolutely not the case. He currently has one of the strongest offenses in the game with Asima. That does really help him out. And he's in the guild that's most dominant in Arena right now. That part also helps. So the combination of that, plus having a very good defense, plus being very familiar with, well, pretty much any offense, and taking your time to clear offense and learn offense how to clear them, just makes him the best Siege player, or the best Arena player out there. Because he really takes his time to analyze like how he can hit things and then hit it the next week, and then don't tell people how he hit that, so people have to be guessing how he hits that. Those kind of things, like it's a combination factor of multiple things. It's not just like having one specific LD or being specifically good in one thing. That brings more to it to get multiple of those legends. We got another primer from Tata Tsuko. Appreciate it. But for me, like the most interesting defenses that I brought, also the interesting defense that I got legend with, I got legend on Vanessa, Shaina, Martina, Triana. I was one of the first. I think I didn't came up with it myself, but I copied it pretty fast after I saw someone else do it. I got legend with that one. Then I got legend, if I'm not mistaken, with very similar team, Vanessa, Shaina, Triana, Nana, which was also my first team for Inter-Server, which took a lot of wins. It was very hard for people to beat. They completely didn't understand that team at all. Plus, it had a big factor that Nana was still reviving units with 60% HP. 60% HP. That was insane, man. Nana was so fucking broken. Still's a good unit, but 60%. That's... She was one of those units that went from 0 to 100, like really bad. Then also one of the defense that I came up with completely was Windy. Windy defense is actually still current meta, but I got Windy defense and I took legend with it. Then the next week Krotos tried the exact same team, also got legend with it. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting team. I also showed it right away how to farm it, so that was... Those are the things, like I had a certain defense, everyone copies me, and therefore I farm all of those defense because 9 out of 10 I know the counter to my own defense, but then I also show how to counter my own defense. Yeah, those are parts that if you want to take a lot of legends in Arena or you want to get a high rank in Arena, you should not show how to counter yourself. That's definitely a thing. But yeah, in the end, for me, it's also just fun to showcase things. And that's also where, like, to be honest, I can make RTA content, I can make Siege content, but at some point it's kind of repetitive, right? I like to do content that is somewhat changing. Like for me, the guides that I make are still the content that I like to make the most. Because I really feel like someone could be like, yo, this can improve my team. This is useful for me. This is something I can use. Whereas if I make an RTA video, like sure, I can showcase a specific unit. Maybe you can pick up that unit in your drafts, but it's not necessarily going to help your drafts or anything that much. It just might have like a certain base view on anything. Like this team, this is exactly the team that I showcased. Which is actually clearable with my other team as well. But yeah, that's kind of the thing where I really like to make guides. But guides are very depending on what is the state of the game. Because at some point, every guide is made. And at some point, the only guides I can make are guides with crazy LDs. Which is not really useful as a guide in the first place. Or something with crazy runes, but even the ones with crazy runes I already did, right? So can't really improve on those as well. Actually, if you haven't checked it, there will be the video the moment I post this video, the video of like 2-3 days ago. I actually had a very big improvement for PC10, and that's an insane improvement. I was super surprised that I picked that up. But that would, I think for most people, increase their speed of farming PC10 by double. Without crazy rune quality. And that was very cool. So yeah, for me, I'm kind of dependent on like updates and that kind of stuff to make content as well. Because the other things you can just do, well, you can do repetitively, but you kind of have to search like, oh, I built this unit in like a stupid way and then try to make content on that. That's an option, but I prefer to kind of have actual cool things reaching out. For example, like the thing that I had 2 days ago, the one I'm talking about, the PC team. It's hard to find those gems, but that's a very good one. That's one you definitely want to watch. But yeah, kind of waiting for updates. We missed out on the big update last year. Like, to be honest, No one can say that we had a big update last year. Like, the only people is like, yeah, we had the guild thing. Ah, fuck the guild thing. Like, most of the high-end guilds pretty much say we don't care about guild battle. It's a legit simple as that. Like, high-end guilds just say like, hey man, focus on your siege, fuck your guild battle. Like, sure, we have a bunch of guilds that still do it, saying it's like, oh, it's good practice and that kind of stuff, but in the end, a lot of guilds are just like, man, we don't care. And that's sad, because the content in the end is kind of fun. It's just, the rewards are kind of stupid, because you get pretty much the same rewards for, legit, if you're benched, you get the same rewards. Like, you don't have to play and you get the same rewards. Like, what the hell is the point? So you don't have to do good in that, but you still get the same points. That's... And the rewards are kind of, yeah, I don't know. They focus more on these engraving scrolls, but engraving scrolls are exactly the same as summoning stones. So that's also the point, like, where do you want to go with that? But this game is also so difficult to add content to, because they actually noticed from the artifact update, a lot of people stopped playing the game because the game became too difficult, because they didn't understand artifacts. Like, to me, in all honesty, if I check, for example, how many upgrade methods you have in Chronicles, that game is 100 times more difficult than artifacts in this game. So I'm not really understanding why people have so much issues with artifacts and not understanding artifacts. They're just, I don't know, maybe people are just too lazy to get out of the comfort zone. It's like, yeah, I can farm artifacts right now, but I want quad speed. It's like, yeah, but there's more to stuff than just your quad speed. Like, with just a whole bunch of quad speeds, you're not going to be rank 1, trust me, not even close. And I've seen people with a lot of quad speeds, SWC players, but SWC players that didn't make it much further than just SWC in, well, regional cup. And then I'm talking about people with like average 190 sets. So normally you have most people that have like 1 or 2 190 sets on Via Will. This man, legit, the whole box is 190. It's like 195 Juno, 195 Praha, 195 more, 195 CP, 195 like 3, 4, 5 other units. Is the man rank 1? No. So is it just straight up quad rules that get you somewhere? It helped you, but it doesn't necessarily make you the most OP player. And yeah, some artifact stats are hard to understand and calculate. How does crit damage less on enemies? That part is very simple too. You just have to test it to a certain degree to understand it, I guess, but that part is not that hard as well. It's very simple. Like, if something is 50% HP, you get half of that crit damage good and half of that crit damage bad. So yeah, they actually they have this thing in Sky Arena, and they also in other games. They want to tell you a good portion of what something does, but they also want to leave some for, yeah, your own finding out of like, okay, whether something is good or not. And it's actually as simple as that. Yeah, it is. It is as simple as that. And that's the point. Yeah, how to say it? People are just not really trying it out, and it's just one of those things you have to try out. And that's also something that I was talking about earlier, like talking about old games and that kind of stuff. Certain things don't really work in current day and age anymore. Like, any single player game that you have to walk through a map or anything like that has like this fucking big ass arrow pointing at you exactly the direction you have to go at. And you just follow the fucking arrow, right? Like, current day and age gaming has been made so much easier because anything that's too difficult doesn't really sell or gets played anymore. And also games are less grindy, and the grind always gets easier. And I'm not sure if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, or is on us or on the game makers or anything like that. Or everything current day and age is just a gacha game because it sells better. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. That's just an interesting factor that people don't really try too much stuff anymore to see like whether what works. Or there's just not enough good guides. I don't know. I actually have a very good guide on artifacts. You should have watched it, then you know exactly how artifacts work. Like, to be honest, everyone that says to me is like, hey, I like artifacts, I don't really get it. Watch my fucking video. That video just explains everything on artifacts, more or less. It was so good on explaining an artifact, I saw at least 3 other languages that made exactly the same notes in just a different format, writing the exact same fucking thing. 3 other languages, at least. They didn't tell me they did it, but at some point I saw, it's like, this format and this writing and this order of putting everything out of order, because I actually put one out of order. I'm not sure if I actually have like an explanation. I think I put it as non-plural. Yeah. So yeah, that one was actually already there. But yeah, those are just one of those things that people have to get used to. But that's also what I like, the original point I came from. Holy shit, I'm like so sidetracked. Like, man, give me 2 beers. I didn't even drink right now, but give me 2 beers and some people to talk about, like, whatever. Could be like culture, could be languages, could be games, could be movies, could be anything. I talk all day, man. I legitimately talk all day. I've been 7 hours live right now talking all day. But the thing that originally was my point of where I came from was I lost it. So probably was not interesting what I was gonna say. Which part was I talking about? Games getting easier? No. Oh yeah. Artifacts being too difficult. Artifacts making people leave the game. And then my original point is, this game is so hard to add any content to. Because the moment you add content to this game, there are people going to be complaining. It's like, yeah, but now I also have to farm this. So their only way of adding content to this game is by removing content. So you can remove some content, you can add some content. That's legitimately the only thing they can do. But that also feels kind of bad for the developers. You don't really know what to remove because there's always someone that's going to like that content. Like, for example, there were people that were enjoying the old guild battle, and they were like, yeah, now I can't do my guild battle anymore. I can only do it on the server, and it's different and I don't like it. Or, yeah, it's just very hard to... The separate energy was from dimensional was good. Yeah, true. True. Yeah, those are actually the things I don't understand, and that's a very good point, dimensional energy. The things they have been slacking on, which they can very easily make something else, is 2As. Like, where the hell are 2As at? We're still, like, didn't they say at the start we're going to make new 2As like every 3 months? And then something was 6 months? And currently I'm pretty sure the last 2A was like a year ago? Maybe more? I don't know. It's been very long, so they've been very stagnated on a lot of those content things they could have done and added a lot more. But yeah, maybe also 2As didn't make them enough money, because 2As are pretty much the reason why we can clear all content without paying. And then also dimensional hole energy is technically mostly free to play. Sure, you can pay some extra to get extra, but it's not a heavy invest to spend like 360 crystals for some extra. So yeah, more 2As will be fun, definitely. Well, they started doing 2A skins, and I think 2A skins is smart. Because for that reason, skins sell. It's just a general thing, like, why does Riot can work on just selling skins? Because skins sells. Like, people that want to pay for skins, they will get the skins. But I think that is a nice way for them to say, like, okay, we can actually put more development resources towards those things as well. But yeah, technically, skin cells, no, not skin cells. With an S, double S. Skin cells, yes, it does sound that way. Same as you say 4 skins. You say what? I have 4 skins. Huh? You get it. But yeah, I'm pretty curious what their take is on anything. Also, they have been very, yeah, how to say it? They're not showing anything they're doing. Like, the moment we get an update, it could literally be next week they show a trailer of a new 2A, and then within 2 days we have that new 2A. Like, they're super fast on that the moment they show something. But also for that reason, they're not showing anything until it's pretty much completely done. And that's, I'm pretty sure, something that came from, at the moment, they were saying like, oh, we're gonna do something with dimensional hole. But they were very late on it because of, I think, COVID at that time or some other reasons. But they were pretty late on those kind of things. Everyone was like, yo, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? You said you were gonna do something in, I don't know, back then and blah, blah. Where is it? It's not coming. Game is dying, blah, blah, that kind of shit. So they kind of translated that so like, okay, how about we just don't tell them anything? And if we don't tell them anything, at least they cannot complain it's not there. It's not wrong, technically. So yeah, but for that reason, we're kind of left in the dark of what kind of approach, way, or anything they're going, or direction with the game and that kind of stuff. So pretty curious to see if this year we'll have like a bigger patch. We already did the anniversary event. Pretty soon. Wait, isn't the anniversary event normally also with a little bit later the global anniversary event or something like that? But yeah, we shall see what the big update is. When was last year's big update? Was it August? I think it was around August, right? I think most of the big updates are around August. August or September. Well, we got a draw button. That's how we do lazy stuff. August, September, I believe. Yeah, actually most games release their big updates around August, September. 9th anniversary event was quite lame now. I think they were good. Reward-wise, they were good. Absolutely. I can't complain reward-wise because you get so much energy from it that they were definitely good. The only event that a lot of people were hoping for and missing was the event for getting runes. Guts, I keep saying, man, Guts has creative fucking defenses. I have no clue what this thing is supposed to do. I can totally hit it. It will just take forever to clear. I'm just gonna hit it just to see what the fuck is the point of this defense. Like, it will take a while to clear 2 halfas, but what the fuck is the point of this defense? Is that a super fast? Yeah, that's... What? What the hell is this defense? That's a very fast... I totally don't understand, man. This man is so creative, I have no clue. I absolutely have no clue. It's also not going to beat me by any chance. It's just gonna take a while. Actually, 2 halfas, I can jiggle like the skill back and forth. But this is weird, man. This is weird. Well, this is the winner from the Go tournament. And the reason he won the Go tournament is because he tries weird shit. But how does that Julie work? Like, is it a super fast Julie doing... That's not going to kill anything, right? Like, I can understand Antares. Antares has like a certain RNG factor to it, which can make you win matches. But how is that Julie going to do anything in there? What? This is the weirdest defense I've ever seen, man. Looks like all monsters are AoE. Yeah, I don't know, man. Looks like all units are freaking weird. Okay, not enough DPS, it seems. 4 Camilla defense. 4 Camilla defense is actually not bad. Okay, it's just going to take a little while. Let's just have it. 23 despair. Well, the thing is, Julie has perfect AI, but why not just put Clara in there that actually does something? Right? That's, I don't get it. I don't really have any proper offenses ruined at the moment to actually give it a try, but... I don't get it. That's the only thing I say, I don't get it. Well, he's pretty high ranked, so it probably does work. To a certain extent. It's just that clearing these 2 halfas. I will get the draw button soon, let's call it that way. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. What is a kind of update or content change you guys would like to see the most? like guys in chat, but also guys checking the video later. What if you were come to us? What kind of content would you either remove, and what kind of content would you add? Strictly content, not units, balance, patches, fire removing, that kind of stuff. Content specifically. Permanent 2v2s. I played my 2v2s earlier today on stream, and you know, honestly, maybe it's not for me, but I don't really like 2v2s because the pick and ban is just, it's so long. It takes forever to get pick and ban in 2v2s. Guilds were away and then old guild were back, yes. Pokédex fill added rewards. Actually, the achievements that we currently have, they're so shit. Just gives a bunch of mana. Actually, good wishes, roll boss, guild rewards after completing towers. Well, those are all not content things. Those are just rewards. Like, I'm strictly asking for what kind of content would you like to add. And that is... That is the hard part, because we can all say like, okay, we want some more rewards in this, more rewards in that, different distributed rewards in this or that. But there's actually, it's very hard for them to add specific content. And that's the main part where I think Campos kind of struggles, because everyone gives good or ideas or just gives ideas or anything like that in what kind of things they should change to the game. Or just give better rewards. But content-wise, it's hard. Change role boss. Yeah, role boss is kind of weird, but to be honest, if they change role boss right now, let's say they change role boss to have all elements. Like that could be a change they could do. It's not really adding content, it's just a change. But if they add role boss all elements, the only thing that happens is people are saying like, ah, finally, they should have done that all along. And people saying like, okay, I don't care. Those are the only two factors that you're going to have with the role boss change. People are going to say like, ah, finally they should have done it. And then they're going to be like, I don't give a shit. And all of the people that actually create like 16,000 Sigmaris and I don't know what, they're going to be upset. So in the end, you only have people saying like, ah, I told you so, and upset people, right? So it's one of those things that it's not going to help if they actually do it. And there's a lot of those kind of content in the game. I would say that if they change it to a certain, like for example, if they add pity systems right now, I think a lot of people would be like, yeah, I already saw like 16,000 million scrolls. Those are wasted right now. Like, yeah, so it's kind of too late to add pity system, in all honesty. So yeah, those are hard things. Regular RTA in the second for Special League conditions running all the time. I kind of liked it what they did with Special League, no LDs last time. To be honest, it gets kind of stale and boring pretty fast, and I think they are afraid that too little people would play normal RTA if they were running both at the same time. But I think the idea of Special League all the time would be pretty nice. Make TOA instant complete where you don't have to auto completion, it's boring and it's long. Yeah, that's the thing, like the only thing they can do to this game is remove content. Like, legit, the only part what people make happy on this game right now is removing stuff. It's not adding stuff. And that's the hard part about this game. What do you think about Vanessa Double Camilla Nora Def? I think it's pretty good if it's good run. Like anything Vanessa Double Camilla X, it's kind of good. Would like something like raid for artifacts, like you need to play with other people to get stones and change and stuff. That's something I like. That is something I definitely like as an idea. That's like, no offense to all of the other ideas I heard, but that's something that I would say like, okay, that's adding some content that's actually also saying like, okay, you kind of have to play together rather than playing solo all the time. And that's actually adding something. And yeah, that part is just kind of hard in this game right now, to actually add something rather than just remove something or change some rewards or whatnot. What about an arena area where all the monsters are available and you just play and test them for fun? That would be pretty interesting, but I think that also kind of removes the... So let's say you have like a battleground arena thing, where everyone is on the same level, everyone has the same room box, everyone has the same monsters. I think it will kind of remove the value of pulling a unit, because you can already play with it without pulling it. So the incentive to summon, which in the end makes them money, but also the accomplishment of actually pulling anything would lower. Like legit, the dopamine amount you get from pulling an LD5 would lower if you can already play with it without spending that effort or money or luck or whatever you want to call it. So it would be nice to test out things. Technically, they kind of have it in mock battle. You can test out units you don't have. It's kind of like a... I think that's... Yeah, mock battle is the closest what comes to it. They actually also started doing it with the support monsters that are in RTA right now. Those actually... yeah, they're pretty much close to it already of testing out units that you don't have. Plus, I would say if these runes all don't have grinds. If these things have grinds, they would be better than most G1 people's runes. Like, I'm legit not lying. If these runes had proper grinds and gems, they would be better than G1, 100%. There's some, like, quad rolls on there. Like, it's... All of these runes are legendaries, but, like, spread out quad rolls. They're pretty high efficient. Make it easier to pull LD5s. Technically, every LD scroll they release extra in the game makes it easier to pull LD5s. And they have been adding a lot more LD scrolls to the game. Like left, right, center. There's been so many more LD scrolls popping up everywhere for saying like, okay, this event gives you some, that event gives you some, DOA Heart gives you some, DOA Hell gives you some. There's just, what the heck, what are these defenses? How is this? What the fuck is this rush? Are people not rushing? Am I rushing too early? I'm doubting myself and I'm doubting my own life choices right now. Who the... Title of the video, strangest defenses I've ever seen. What the fuck is even this, man? It's been over 2 years, 700 LD scrolls. I'm not saying you didn't summon 200 LD scrolls, but I'm always like, if someone says they summoned 700 LD scrolls, did you actually count them, or do you just estimate getting that many? Because I had a whole bunch of people like that are saying like, oh yeah, I do like 150 LD scrolls a month. I'm like, do you swipe a lot, or how the hell do you guys like? Oh, not that much. I get like an LD pick here and there. I'm like, I'm not entirely sure how you're gonna get to like 120 LDs with just swiping a little bit. It's a lot, man. 25 to 30 a month. I actually have no clue how many LDs I summon a month. 20 to 30 a month. That could be. Well, actually, 1 a day average. That's a lot already. That's actually quite some. Like, if you think about, if you talk about the other way around, 1 LD average a day, that's quite some. Well, then again, you have some packs that give like 3 or 4 or something, and you can buy like 3 of those packs, and you have 12 days straight in one day, but... Yeah. Well, I wouldn't mind like a pity system in this game. We have pity in Chronicles, and I really do enjoy pity. And to be honest, any new game that would be released right now that doesn't have a pity system in there would not work. This game just works on pity or without pity because we're just used of not having pity. But if you would release Sky Arena right now, pity system would 100% be a thing. Like 100,000%. It wouldn't work without it. Absolutely not. No way. And that's also just the difference of like how games are developed right now, and also what kind of games work towards what kind of audience. I think Sky Arena is also a very difficult game to get newer players to. Like, sure, I know a few people here and there that start playing, but it is legitimately hard to start playing the game right now, and then if you try to catch up with like the old players and that kind of stuff, it's an old game in the end. Well, to be honest, with LD5s, and that's also the biggest issue with LD5 pity in general, if they would put pity to getting a guaranteed LD5, then at some point, people are going to be upset for having a bad LD5. And that's just a big issue. And that's an issue they can't really overcome in any kind of way, shape, or form. Do I actually need Seimei against this that much? Because, for example, let's say you do pity of 250. Let's say, okay, pity is always higher than the actual rate. Let's say double. So the rate of pulling an LD5 is 1 in 250 or so. Be wrong, I don't know. I think it's 1 in 250. So let's say pity rate is 500 scrolls. So on 500 scrolls, you're guaranteed to get an LD5. Okay, it's 200. Okay, let's say 400. That's kind of how Chronicles does. Like it's 1 in 100 to pull anything, and then the pity is 1 in 200. So I would say 1 in 400. Let's say you do 400 LD scrolls, which arguably towards like somewhat spending would take you a slightly bit more than a year. Well, yeah, it would be a year and a half. I would say like if you're pulling on average like 20 scrolls, it would take you like a year and a half. I think that's fair to say. Year and a half to a little bit more. Let's say a year and a half of LD scrolls, and then you pull 1 unit and you get the bay. 2, 7, 8. Okay, so 500. So 500 would equal to a year and a half, but probably even close to 2 years. So let's say 2 years. 2 years to hit LD pity. Yeah, that's LD pity, and then you pull the bay. Are you gonna continue playing the game? That's one of those I'm like, I'm not sure. I kind of believe there will be free LD4, LD5 in the 10th anniversary. I kind of agree. Because in the end, anything they do, they will improve on whatever pack they have. We've seen, like the best example is rune packs. Rune packs used to give blue runes. Like fuck, you could buy rune packs, you get blue runes? Yes, you could buy rune packs, you get blue runes. Blue runes, no innate, no choices, just a bunch of random runes. Not even a guaranteed legendary, no, just a bunch of blue runes, maybe a few heroes, and if you're lucky, legendary. No innates, no nothing. Those were the original rune packs. Then at some point they were like, yeah, fuck, no one's buying that shit because it's easy enough to farm. Okay, let's make hero and legend only. Okay, let's give them 2-3 choices of legendary runes. Okay. Let's give them 6 choices of legendary runes. Let's give them all innates, 100% innate. Those are the steps that rune packs went through. Those are also the, like, way back in the days, the best pack you could buy was the $100 legendary pack. There was 1 legendary scroll and like 1 Devilmon. And then a bunch of mystical scrolls and 3,000 crystals. You just bought it for the 3,000 crystals. Like, I wasn't really a spender back then. But that's how shit packs used to be. And that's how much better packs have been over the few years. So, yes, I totally expect it to get to a point where they are going to give a LD4, LD5 pack. I'm pretty guaranteed sure that they will do it. The only thing is they can never make a pack more expensive than $110. And the reason why they can't do that, because technically an LD5 pack, if you would straight up buy an LD5 with LD scrolls, you're looking at somewhere along the lines of 7k fucking USDs. They cannot make a LD pack 7k USDs. Because the moment that they apply any game to any store, so for example Google Play Store, Huawei Store, Apple Store, any of those games, they say what is the ranges of prices in game, and it actually shows on the play or like the place where you download the game. And then for Summoner's War it says like, okay, between 5 and 110. If that says like, if you make 1 pack 1,000, like a fucking 1,000 USDs, it would say 5 to a K. That's a very big difference than 5 to 100, right? So that would discourage people from playing it, like by all means 100%. So they're never going to make a more expensive pack than 100, or at least they shouldn't. So yeah, for that reason, if they make an LD pack, it's going to be somewhere down the line. I don't know when, where, or how. I don't have any insights in any of that, of course. But I am pretty sure it will happen at some point. They actually did mention in Korea during the dev talk that they would never do an LD4 scroll. Because people were asking for an LD4 scroll, and they actually said we will never do an LD4 scroll. They didn't necessarily say why, but I can kind of tell you why they won't. Because LD4 scrolls would make people quit. 100%. If you just do a plain LD4 scroll, any unit, people would hella quit on that shit. And the main reason for that, yes, exactly what you're saying. It's an HOH scroll. The only thing that it would be is a fucking HOH scroll. Everyone and their mom is gonna pull HOH units. And that is not beneficial for the game whatsoever. So the only way that they can do an LD4 pack is if they do an LD4 pack, non-HOH, only units you're missing. And then let's say add in like a certain chance of getting an LD5. Also none of the LD5s that you already have. That's the only way. So that pack can be used to get your Molly if you don't have it, to get your Leia if you don't have it, to get your Tableau if you don't have it. Those kind of units can be pulled from that pack, and then that pack is very valid. And I think we will get that for the 10th anniversary. Like, that's just me speculating on random shit. But I think a non-HOH LD pack will be the pack that they give for the 10th anniversary. Because I'm pretty sure 9th anniversary was good rewards, but it was also somewhat stale. It was nothing too crazy. To be honest, I'm kind of happy they didn't went for this stupid ass rune event again, because some people are just... That's the thing with the rune event. The gap between lucky and unlucky just gets crazy. Like, the thing that I was talking... Someone else told it to me. I'm not sure who it was, but that idea for rune event was like 100 times better than the rune events they did, because the current rune event is just so fucking RNG based. He actually said we should do a rune event for hero, but plus 9. I was thinking about it, it's like, yo, that actually makes so much sense. That is 10 times better than the rune event for plus 6 on a legendary. Because the rune event for a plus 6 on legendary gives you a lot of chance to be either fucking lucky, get a 30, or very unlucky, stay at the 18 of speed or crit rate or whatever. But if you get the plus 9 on hero, you get 24 speed. Everyone gets 24 speed. Everyone gets like a clean 29 speed in the slot they want. It is not absolutely broken, but it's very nice. And that is definitely something that can help people out, and that would help everyone out, rather than just helping out like 1/3 of the population to get a quadro, or even less, 1/16. So yeah, that's an event that I would definitely like. 9th anniversary gives shitload of energy. That part is like definitely the best about the whole thing. Like, a lot of people were asking me, it's like, oh, should I pick this rune? Should I pick that rune for the 9th anniversary event? I'm like, dude, bro, just pick fucking any rune and go for this energy. Like, the energy is legit the best thing about this whole event that is in there. Like, anything else is kind of decent, mediocre, nice, niche. But the energy cashback that you get, I'm like, yo, that's a lot of energy. Really a lot of energy. Mileage patch when? I don't know. But how much runes then? 2? Yeah, just 2 runes. 2 runes that you get on the plus. Even if they make the plus 24, just 1 rune. 1 rune or 2 runes. I would totally be fine. Like, I wouldn't do many on that shit. But that's definitely something that I would like. I haven't bought a single rune in the GM, just farmed the shit out of the game with the free energy. Yeah, that's the thing, the free energy is insane. Actually, if you have a new account, they had like the overlap with the AC collab, plus the 9th anniversary, plus the bonus if you have a new account. You legitimately got, like, as a cashback energy, plus the cashback energy you have from just doing random dungeons, because any like dungeon you get energy back as well. There was absolutely no way you would run out of energy. Because you couldn't clear as fast, and the cashback was close to like 70-80% on your energy. Plus then you have the energy renewal stuff. You could not run out of energy, pretty much. That's how much free energy we got. So yeah, currently it's very useful to farm very fast and get a lot of that energy in. But for that reason, it's a very nice event. But Once again, it's not really an event that adds nice new stuff. It just adds more of what we already have. Which in this case, it's a good event for rewards, 100%. But is it like crazy nice event for getting anything? Like, to be honest, the 9th anniversary scroll that I bought, I got 9 dupes. Yeah, nice man, 9 dupes. And then we also had the event of 9 units. Wanna guess what? I had in total 17 dupes, 1 new unit, but that 1 new unit was a fire, what's it called? Fire Pure Vanilla. And I rather pulled a dupe Feng Yang over a Fire Pure Vanilla. So technically I had 18 dupes. Well, I chose a dupe over a new unit, but technically 18 dupes. It's just, yeah, I rather have that scroll that they did last year, guaranteed new unit. Like guaranteed new unit, choose a choice out of 2 or some shit. That would be like so much better than saying like, okay, yeah, random new units or yeah, random units. 1 out of I don't know how many. Good luck trying or some shit. Those special mystical scrolls that were like blessing were nice. I didn't like them. I didn't know. I got 0 net 5s on them. For me, the best scrolls they released ever were the 7th anniversary scrolls. Because the 7th anniversary scrolls were the ones where you could make a box of 7 3-stars, 7 4-stars, and 7 5-stars. And you can only pull those. I think it was 7th anniversary. Was it 8? I don't remember. One of the 2. Those were for me the scrolls that I bought all of them. That was like, yo, I can legit put 7 non-dupes in that box. And if I get a net 5, I guarantee get one of those units. That was fucking insane. Like for me right now, I can buy all of the anniversary scrolls. But if I can do 8 or like 17 out of 18 units dupe, I still need to get 6 net 5s on them to get 1 non-dupe, right? So the other one was pretty much net 5 guarantees new unit. Those were insane scrolls. So yeah, it doesn't always mean that they go up in like value of scrolls, because actually it went down in value of scrolls for the anniversary event, I would say. But yeah, those were just some crazy ass scrolls what they had back then. I think we never had better scrolls than that in general. Well, to be honest, the Christmas scroll. Like, a lot of people ask me, or not a lot of people ask me. Sometimes people ask me, it's like, okay, what is the best thing to buy all year? 100% Christmas. The pack we get on Christmas is absolutely, no joke, by far, without any competition, the best pack you can buy all year. And this year is 9 out of 10 going to be the same. Because people could say like, oh, anniversary stuff is good. Anniversary stuff is nice, don't get me wrong. Like 9 net 5s that you get a choice from is nice. It's definitely not bad. But I'm pretty sure that the Christmas pack is still going to be better. What did we have Christmas last year? Was it just the same? Like 1 unit guaranteed you don't have? Because how would you one up that? Like 1 unit guaranteed you don't have blessing? I'm also very curious to see if they are ever going to give that LD5 blessing for free. Because giving that LD5 blessing for free, or like an event or in a pack or anything like that, does make a lot of sense, right? But it also doesn't make sense. And the part that doesn't make sense is the part of me that says like, okay, to pop an LD5 blessing on average spending could take you a insane amount of long time. And then I'm talking really fucking long. Yeah, like a lot of people wouldn't pop that blessing. So for that reason, I think it's one of those things that would be nice if they did, but I don't think they would ever do, because it's just so hard to pop that blessing in the first place. Ooh, is that thing going to die right now? Nah. Alaya Toby. But yeah, that would be an interesting one. Also, how many people in chat, like I'm pretty curious, how many people in chat had an LV blessing popped? Or are having an LV blessing right now? Wait, let's actually do that by poll. I'm pretty curious to see, because I think the population of that is pretty small. Poll question, do you have LD5 less? Have blessing, I popped blessing, I'm poor. I think for most of the people, I'm poor. I also voted I'm poor. I never got LD blessing. We have 2 people with blessing, 3 people with blessing, actually quite a bunch of people with blessing, but technically it's a lot easier to get an LD5 over the last, I don't know how many years, rather than to pop it right now with, like, how long has the update been? 3-4 months? 100 scrolls not popped? Yeah, that's pretty normal actually. I've had dupe, Julian. Yeah, to be honest, I was thinking about this earlier. Like, there's a few net 5s, LD5s that I wouldn't trade for dupes, but I feel like I would put most LD5s as dupe for the blessing. Like, pretty much almost all. Like, the exceptions would be Nefties. I wouldn't mind a second Nefties. But let's say, for example, dupe Gianna, definitely feed. Dupe Grogan, definitely feed. Pretty much all of my unit, dupe Seimei, definitely feed. Like, all of my LDs that I have, the only one I would keep a dupe is Nefties. Don't play this game and just watch loving you. I really appreciate you being here. Actually, I do kind of the same thing that you do for Sky Arena, I do with RuneScape. I haven't played RuneScape in a long time, but I still watch quite some RuneScape YouTube content. Imagine having LD dupes. Imagine feeding LD dupes. Dupe Nigong worth keeping? No, would definitely feed. Like, you could say some for siege defense, you could keep a dupe Nigong, you could keep a, what's it called? There's a bunch of dupes that you could keep for siege kind of stuff. But a lot of them I don't really feel like are that valuable for me to say like, oh, I really want to keep that. Dupe Dian Lang? I guess so, I guess so. But even Dupe Dian Lang is just siege. So the only dupes you would keep is siege related, I would say. So would I care enough about siege? Like, for example, dupe Sylvia. Would you keep dupe Sylvia or would you feed dupe Sylvia? I would probably just feed it. Because dupe Sylvia gives me a chance to feed keep. Okay, let's do that as a poll. Next poll. It's actually kind of funny. Oh, wait. Let's see what this one goes for. I would definitely feed. Because dupe Sylvia, for me, would mean that I have a chance that my next LD5 is not at the Bay. Or a Dorothy. Or something else that's fucking ridiculously shit. Keep flex it and then feed easy. We're actually 50-50. We're 50-50 on the votes of keep and feed. I'm pretty sure that everyone that says keep is definitely a siege player. She is mainly good siege defense. I'm not even sure she's that good siege offense. Well, I guess there's a bunch of siege offense that are pretty good with her too, but I would say she's more of a siege defense than a siege offense unit. Okay, we're exactly 50-50 on the poll. That's pretty interesting. And it also definitely means that if I say I would feed it, doesn't mean that I would recommend you to feed it. It's just saying that I would. And that's with a lot of things in this game. Like, the way I play doesn't mean that I recommend that way to play. Like, to be honest, if someone asked me, say, like, yo, say, I gotta dupe Sylvia, would you say feed it or not? I would honestly say, man, like, hey, man, that's up to you. That is not for me a decision to make. Because it's your unit, your account, and you want to determine whether you want to play focusing on siege or not. And even if you feed it, you can still get a blessing of the Bay and Dorothy. imagine you pop your LD blessing and you see the Bay Dorothy. Guess how much time this guy is going to make to have his phone fly from point A to point B. Holy shit, man. Could you not room one fast and one tanky and clear history? We actually have a guildie that does that. We have a guildie that has 2 Sylvias, and he technically does that. Negative time. Yeah, I think he will go back in time to throw his phone while looking at the screen, so he actually pops the blessing while it's throwing. I'm pretty sure something like that will happen. I'm not sure how he's going to make that happen. He's going to call in fucking Doctor Strange and put the fucking time stone to work to make that happen, but that would go to happen, like 100%. Stage 1 is down. Do I enter stage 2? For contribution, yeah, just go stage 2, no worries. I rather would keep my dupe Gianna instead of getting the bait dupe and Dorothy in the blessing. Understandable, but then again, your blessing could also be, let's say, Nasha Rectal. No, you get stage 1 rewards the moment you go into any stage later. So you didn't miss rewards on stage 1. It's not an issue. It's just annoying that people kill it. So no worries, guys. But what would you guys say is the hardest blessing to choose between for LD5s? For me, the hardest blessing, like let's say I pop LD blessing and I get Ragdoll Veronica. Ooh, that would be like shit. I would probably still go Veronica because it's more of a playmaker than. Or if I get Veronica Yeon Hong. Ragdoll Yeon Hong, that one is hard to. Nefty Steel Lang, ooh, those are difficult. For me, I think the hardest I could get is probably Yeon Hong Veronica. Because I like those units a lot, both of them. And that would really be one for me is like, yo, I don't know. Nefty's Maximilian, that one is easy. Nefty's. 100% Nefty's. Fuck Maximilian. That one is super easy for me. Nefty's Asima, ooh, difficult, but I would say Nefty's, for sure. Yeon Hong Ragdoll, I would say if you're turn 1 player, Yeon Hong, if you're turn 2 player, Ragdoll. That one's relatively easier. For me, I would say it's somewhat harder because I play both. Nick Seraph. I would say that's an easy Seraph for me. Oberon Destiny. Ooh, that one is that's a good one because both of the units do the same thing but slightly different. Technically, I would say Oberon is better, but Destiny is just the coolest unit in the game. So that one, I would probably go for Destiny for just being cool. Like, fuck Oberon in that sense. Like, Oberon is amazing as a unit. Seraph Nefty's. I would say Nefty's on that one. Like, Nefty's wins a lot against other LDs. I should do that as a, Pontus Lima. Ooh, that's a good one too. Yeah, I should actually make that as a, like a tournament competition of Unit A versus Unit B in Blessing, and then like community voting. That's actually something I should write down. I think you can. There's probably some online tool to help you with that. No, I'm going to be out of time by 1 second. But who is better than Nefty's? I would say Veronica is better. Yeon Hong is better. Ragdoll, depending on your playstyle. But Nefty's doesn't. like Nefties has the overall value. And there's not too many units that have that overall value that Nefties has. Because Nefties can be used everywhere. Like legit every fucking where. And to be honest, if you pull a Yanhang, that's cool for your RTA. But it's only cool for your RTA, right? Or if you pull a Ragdoll, it's cool for your siege offense, you can use it as a dark tank, but that's about it. And this was actually the rush where I got hit absolutely the least ever. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I never did a chill rush and I finished top 5. Never. That's just weird. Strange. But yeah, pretty chill rush. Apparently less people rushing, it seems. Lucifer or Talisman? Personally, I would go for Talisman right now because I have Nefties. Anyone else, I would recommend to go Lucifer. Arena's dead this week? It was. It hella was.